Yo. Late upload. Had some things to do, but let's get into it. Playoffs. Was this the best playoff weekend ever? Let's get into it. Hey, if you're new, my name is Keith, the new Black Quarterback Series, but it is the playoffs, and so we're in full playoff mode where we talk about everything NFL-wise all the time. And this week was probably one of the best football weeks, if not the best football week in NFL history. I'm talking about every game came down to a field goal. Every single game came down to a field goal. Just bananas, man. Just bananas. We have some AB news too that I'm going to talk about towards the end. But let's get into my predictions. So as you see, my record is 4-10. It's been rough. It's been a lot of upsets. I tried to be cute the first week and pick teams that I thought were gonna win, and I thought I was doing well. But we'll get better as these weeks progress. So I'll give you my Super Bowl prediction at the end of the video. So I'll leave a time marker right there, so you'll know my Super Bowl video or Super Bowl prediction is, so you can just go straight to that. So let's get to the first one, and then we'll just build up. So Cincinnati and the Titans. Now I picked the Titans, and I said I wouldn't be surprised if the Titans lost, but I wouldn't be surprised if Cincinnati won. But my God, what was Ryan Tannehill doing? Ryan Tannehill, you can't. That is as far as you're gonna get with Ryan Tannehill. Ryan Tannehill is capped out. I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but when you go up against these other elite quarterbacks, this is the performance you're going to get. Now, the tip pass to the interception, it wasn't really that bad, but when your defense gets 9 sacks and the opposing quarterback is only 28 for 37, 348 yards and an interception, and he plays better than you got to look in the mirror and be like, we got to make an upgrade at quarterback. And shout out to my man. He commented on a video. I might show it in this video if I can find the comment. He's saying down in Tennessee they have been talking about that already. He's been screaming from the mountaintops to go get them. Go get our boy Deshaun. I would love to see Deshaun in that offense. Derrick Henry, Deshaun Watson, both threats to run. You can run a little zone read, play action off of it, RPO action. Like the thoughts are limitless when if you put Deshaun in this offense. Got to shore up some things, of course. You got to get health and everything, but if they go get Deshaun and go big and play for next year, you can really do some things in the AFC. But the AFC is stacked. I didn't realize how stacked the AFC was until Shannon brought it up. If I can find a clip, I'll show it to you.
And just think what you got in the AFC, Skip. You got Mahomes, you got Josh Allen, you got Joe Burrow, you got Justin Herbert, and you got Lamar Jackson.
And Baker Mayfield.
No, I leave him out. You got 5 guys, 25, 26 years of age and under. And I ain't even mentioned Kyler Murray in the NFC side. You still got, until Brady retires, he's still in that mix. But I'm talking about the young guys.
AFC is stacked. Joe Cool played Joe Cool football. The score was close, but for me personally, you kind of always felt like Joe Burrow was going to make the play because he just kept fighting back. Like I said, he got sacked 9 times and still just kept slanging and kept throwing the ball. And was just making the play. Shout out to Jamar Chase, is always making huge plays. So yeah, Cincinnati's moving on to the NFC Championship or the AFC Championship game. They're moving on to the AFC Championship game, and we're going to see if they can take it all the way. It would just be the craziest story in sports if Cincinnati took it all the way. Just nobody would expect that. So we got to talk about it. Aaron Rodgers. I'll make it quick. Here's his numbers right here. Hopefully I put enough space right there. Those are his numbers. And I'll probably leave them on the screen for the whole segment. Aaron bleeping Rodgers, man. My guy, Sports Guy Matt, said Aaron Rodgers is Matt Stafford with a Super Bowl championship. I wouldn't go that far. I still think he's probably the second or third greatest thrower of football in history. But you got to play better, Aaron. You got to play better, bro. I was with you with the whole, vaccine thing. I was with you with that. But you got to play better. You can't talk that big of a game all season and then not play it well enough. But I will say, Aaron did have them in opportunities to win the game. The blocked field goal was not his fault. The missed PAT was not his fault. The punt block return for a touchdown, not his fault. So these factors are not his fault. I think the real score of that game should have been like 17-3 or like 20-3, because just if you take away all the special teams woes, they win that game. But they were ranked 32nd in the league in special teams for a reason, and it came back to bite them. I've never seen special teams be that awful. I didn't even think that was possible. Like, these are rotation guys that are trying to fight for spots. Nobody is taking anybody off these special teams. I would fire that special teams coordinator. It's just bad. That's just a bad loss. And looking at the landscape, and I was talking to a friend about this, and I thought he would leave, but looking at the landscape of Green Bay, you don't want to go, and it's rumors that he might go to Denver. You don't want to go to Denver. You don't want to go to Denver. Somebody also said, I don't know if I can find that video, I'll show you, but I've also heard through the internet and a couple places that I trust that, I think that was Rex Ryan. It was Rex Ryan. Rex Ryan said that Aaron Rodgers would be the third best quarterback in the division if he went to Denver. And I'm thinking, and you hear that, and you're like, nah, he wouldn't. But you got to think about it. Patrick Mahomes and Justin Herbert are in that division. Who would you rather have? Patrick Mahomes, of course. Justin Herbert and Aaron Rodgers is a toss-up because it depends on what you want. So, it remains to be seen. Devontae Adams is also a free agent. There's a slew of free agents coming out of Green Bay. And it's just going to be very interesting to see what Green Bay does going forward, because you can't go out there with Jordan Love next season. You'll be drafted number 1 overall if Jordan Love's the starter next season, because even with Trey Lance, he didn't play much, but we saw flashes. Like I've said before, Trey Lance is better than Justin Fields now. So that tells you all you need to know. And Justin Fields is miles ahead of Jordan Love, and Jordan Love has been in the league for 3-4 years now. So it remains to be seen. We're going to cover that. That'll be certainly one of my off-season, part of one of my off-season videos, for sure. So we'll move into probably not the craziest game, because we still have the KC game to talk about, but the Rams and Bucks. Let me just do the numbers and get the numbers over with first. Brady was 30 for 54, 329 yards, interception, and touchdown. Matt Stafford was 28 for 38, 366 yards, and 2 touchdowns. So Matt Stafford had a great first half and a great ending drive. The rest of everything in the middle was BS. Brady got a couple things that went his way. He actually got his first, it's not a tech in football, but he got his first unsportsmanlike conduct penalty ever. And they was this close to winning the game. If it wasn't for a blown coverage, they would have won the game. But the Rams pretty much gave the game away. Cam Akers had a fumble. He had a couple fumbles. Matt Stafford, bad snap went over his head. So it just looked like everything was setting up for Brady to have one of those moments again. And Matt Stafford had the moment. Big play over the top to Coop. Cooper Kupp catches it. They run it and they get a chance to spike it. They spike it, kick the field goal, game over. LA's in the NFC Championship game. Just a crazy day. Just a crazy day of football. And it all ended with the night game. It wasn't really a night game. It was more of a midday game. Mahomes versus Josh Allen. I said this on Instagram and I said this on Facebook. And also on Twitter. All the links to those will be down in the description. These guys are probably the 2 best quarterbacks right now. The duel that these guys had down the road from me in Kansas City was something special that I will never see again. I'm so glad I got to see it live. I was on the phone with my sister. I had to call her back. I would have to go do something, but I came back and watched the end. When I say they scored like 27 points in under 3 minutes, it was just ridiculous. Josh Allen needs to. Every time I bring up Josh Allen, I always reference to Cam Newton, and I reference to Cam Newton because Josh Allen is Cam Newton's final form. Josh Allen is what Cam would have looked like if he had committed more to being a better passer and would have a better organization around him. Because Josh Allen had the whole city behind him. Now, granted, Cam had the city behind him, but he never really had to support the organization like he needed to. Cam never had a Diggs as a receiver. So, but Josh Allen was 27 for 37, 329 yards, 4 touchdowns. Mahomes 32 for 44, 3 touchdowns, 378 yards, 78 yards. These guys battled to the bitter end. I think I said it was going to be a light show, and it didn't become a light show till the end. Touchdown after touchdown after touchdown. This was all in the fourth. Let's just say 5. The last 5 minutes of the fourth, and really like the last 2 minutes. It was just crazy. Big plays everywhere. I can't even name all the big plays. The big play to Hill, the big play to Tyreek, the busted coverage by the Kansas City cornerback, and the receiver shook him out of his shoes for a touchdown. Some of the just straight runs that they was running for the Bills. The Bills said, we need the points, and we're gonna go on every fourth down, and they went and got every fourth down. So yeah, it was a really, really good game. I thoroughly enjoyed it. But a coin toss determined the game. And a coin toss determined the game, and people are like, oh, you should change the rules. You should change the rules. I don't think they should change the rules because it's always been like that. If the defense gets a stop or they make Kansas City kick a field goal, then we're having a whole different discussion. We're having a whole different discussion. But you can't change a rule because another team can't play one side of the ball. You know what I mean? So I hope the NFL doesn't change that rule. Stay tuned. If they do change the rule, I'll have a video breaking that down a little more in depthly. And so my predictions. Who will win the Super Bowl? Or who will be in the Super Bowl? It's a toss-up, man, because we're going to start with the NFC. So we got an NFC matchup, NFC West matchup, the Rams versus the 49ers. My heart wants to go with the 49ers because I just can't stand to see the Rams back in the Super Bowl, in full transparency. But in actuality, the Rams are playing at another level right now. Matt Stafford is actually playing at an elite level. The mistakes they made against the Green Bay Packers, I think the Rams will take more advantage of them. And they've played them before, so it's kind of familiarity. With that, they've played 2 times this year already. This will be twice. So anything is possible. It could be a blowout and the 49ers could win, but it also could be a blowout another way. It could be just, anything's possible. This is a divisional game. But I think that the Rams see the finish line in sight, and so they're going to go for it. I expect Matt Stafford to have a really, really good game. But every time you rely on Matt Stafford, he tends to let you down. So, but I'm going to go with Matt Stafford because I'm not relying on Jimmy G for anything. So I think the final score, I don't think this game will be high scoring. These are 2 really good defenses. So I think the final score will be 14-21 Rams. The Rams will be in the Super Bowl for the second time in like 4 or 5 years. So we go to the other side. The magic carpet ride for the Bengals ends right here. You're going up against another elite quarterback. You haven't faced another elite team, so to speak. Yes, you faced Tennessee, but we know Tennessee is not that elite, and they have Tannehill as a quarterback. You faced Oakland, or Las Vegas now. You face Las Vegas. We know they're not an elite team. This will be their first real true test to see if they can beat somebody. If they beat Kansas City Chiefs, I will pick them to win the Super Bowl. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. If they beat the Chiefs, they are going to win the Super Bowl. they're going to win the Super Bowl. It's just that's just the way it is. And Flimlo Raps is going to go crazy. I would kind of like to see it, but I just don't think Kansas City is going to allow it to happen because it's all going to be in their building. So, fun fact: Mahomes has never played a road playoff game. Nick Wright told us that a couple days ago. I was very surprised. I never even thought about it. But yeah, that's my Super Bowl prediction. So that's my prediction. That's what I think. That's my breakdown of the divisional week. The best weekend in sports, or the best weekend in football ever. Let me know what y'all think. Y'all think I'm crazy? Y'all think I got it right? Y'all think my video should be darker? Just let me know. Like, subscribe, do all the YouTubery things, and I'll see y'all later on in the week. Peace.